Good evening. It's Sunday night, Sunday Meltdown. My name is Jermaine, aka Uncle Dandy. You're in for a special treat. I say that every week, but let's go. Good evening. So tonight, technology is working with us so far. We're live on Blast Radio, blastradio.com/Uncle Dandy, 88.5 WHHC. And we're on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed, just check out the link tree on the app on Blast. You can also find that link on Instagram, or you just go to YouTube at Uncle_Dandy. I had to do the underscore thing. @_Dandy. No, Uncle. Uncle at. You know what I mean. Ton of music. I got a ton of music that I want to get into, as well as an interview. And the thing is, I don't have the camera, but I wanted to go live on a different platform, and maybe I'll test it after the show, and we'll do some visuals. Yeah, we'll do that maybe after the show. I'll do a test run. So tonight, and I mentioned earlier in the week, I mentioned Yacht Rock, and you're going to hear me and my guest talk about that term. And I think everyone who watched the documentary that was out not long ago, I didn't watch it. I just never got around to it. But having this conversation, I kind of got the feeling why artists do not like that term. And she went in to kind of speak about it. So here's what happened earlier in the week, like Sunday, maybe even last week, Friday, Saturday. I was thinking about what's next week's show going to be like. And I'm thinking, and I'm listening to music. And I said, you know what? It's time for some easy listening that easy listening music from the 80s, the 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, singer songwriter, not necessarily yacht rock, and not necessarily the front running stuff. I wanted to really go deep dive and play rare stuff that you haven't heard. That was the goal. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm putting the list together. I'm listening to music throughout the day, feeling really good about it. I'm on Instagram, and someone I follow, Ed Mata from Brazil, is congratulating another artist on her album release. And I click on it and I see who he's talking about. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot. The name of the artist, her name is Ethel Lindsey. And I had found her on Bandcamp. I believe the name of the record label is called Favorite Records. And just from the image of the album cover alone, I was like, wow, I got to see this. I got to listen to this album. And it said it was coming out October, and I just never set a reminder for it. So when I saw Ed congratulating her on the album release, I immediately jumped over, started listening to it, and was completely blown away. I head over to her account, and she's showing love back to Ed on the congratulations, thanking him and saying, I appreciate you, big bro. And it was like a beautiful love fest between the two artists, you know, older and younger. And then I just, as I listened to it completely, beginning to end, I said, well, let me reach out and see if she'd be willing to come on the show, since I was highlighting this type of music anyway. And most artists would probably prefer rock, pop, AOR, album-oriented rock, instead of yacht rock. But even she, as we talked about, understood why some people may use it. And I'll kind of get into my reasoning why I can see it can come across offensive, as you know, to artists. So anyway, I reach out and she says, yes, I would love to. She's overseas. We're not in the same time zone. We coordinate. Saturday night, last night, we had the interview. And I originally only asked for about 15 minutes. I didn't want to take up too much time because I was going to play 2 or 3 of my favorite tracks. I think there's 8 songs in total. And then I was going to play you the list that I curated that I think it automatically it pairs up with her music beautifully. So let me get into not her album. I'm going to play you another single that she has, and then we'll lead into some of her music as well as the interview. And I think you're going to dig it. So here's Ethel Lindsey and her version of, you know I love covers. Here's her version of Georgie Porgy.
situation. I just need contemplation. Oh, for you. I'm not so systematic. It's just that I'm an addict for your love. Not the only one that holds you. Never ever should have told you you're my only girl. Not the only one that holds you. Never ever should have told you you're my only world. Just because long I've known you, it's wrong for me to hold you lock and key. It's really not confusing. I'm just a young illusion. Can't you see? Not the only one that holds you. I never ever should have told you you're my only girl. Not the only one that holds you. I never ever should have told you you're my only world. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Kiss the girls and make them cry. Kiss the girls and make them cry. It's not your situation. I just need contemplation. All for you. I'm not so systematic. It's just that I'm an addict for your love. I'm not the only one that holds you. Never ever should have told you you're my only girl. Ooh, not the only one that holds you. I never ever should have told you you're my only world. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Georgie walking, putting light, kiss the girls and make them cry. Kiss the girls and make them cry. Kiss the girls and make them cry.
It's so beautiful. I love that song. And I told Ethel, and you'll probably hear it in the interview, I appreciated hearing the slower tone of that song because listening to the lyrics at that tempo really kind of like hit me in the heart. And I didn't cry. I mean, there was some waterworks, he's starting to pick up. But I love that version. I love a really good cover. So my name is Jermaine, aka Uncle Dandy. This is the Sunday Meltdown. We are doing album-oriented rock, and the plan was to do this all along. And then this magnificent album by Ethel Lindsey was released, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget what day it was, but it lined up perfectly with what I was already going to do. I'm going to start playing the interview, and I think what's beautiful, we always talk about music being inclusive and international. It's universal is the word I'm searching for. Music is universal. And right away, Ethel apologizes for not being able to speak English as proficiently as she would like. And I'm like, no, it's no worries, no big deal. Like we communicated just fine. The conversation about our both of our interests in music and the artists that we like, um, the only thing that was separating us was the ocean between here and France. The only thing that was separating us was us both speaking, fluently, our native tongue. But the artists, the names, like the way it flowed, I'm like, this is my cousin. Like we're we're family already. So I love that about music, and I love that about you guys when you tune in to the show, because if you're tuning in and listening now, you already kind of like the same music. And then you also obviously you must like my taste in music because I curate the show. I rarely take requests, if ever. You tune in anyway. So I appreciate you so much for this experience each and every week. It's really like therapy for me to play the music and talk to someone. So having you on the other end listen is a real blessing. So when we get an artist who makes music that I enjoy, then it makes it even better that they take the time to talk to me. So I'm going to get into it, and then I'm going to play some of my favorite tracks from this album. It's called Pretty Close. And here we go. Let me make sure the volume is up, and I'm pretty sure everything is going to go okay. So the I think even leading into the first question was
Sure,
I had to remember how I found your music, okay? So I was on Bandcamp, and is it the record label? Is it Favorite Records?
sure, this is it.
Yeah.
Yes, of
So
course.
so Favorite Records was promoting your album, and I saw
Yeah.
the cover. And immediately when I saw the cover, I had never saw you, had never heard your music before.
Mhm.
I saw the cover and I'm like, I need to know what's in there. Like when I saw it, I felt like being in the record store and you're flipping through albums and it's like sight unseen. Like, let me just go ahead and listen to this. So I have to know like whose idea was the cover, like the colors, what you're wearing, because it makes a good statement.
Well, first of all, um, thanks for listening to my music and just saying hello to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really pleased to be here to talk about the album Pretty Close. Well, thank you for asking me the question about the album cover because it's a long, long story actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, In fact, the idea is completely mine. It's coming from a tribute for another album cover, from Stanley Clarke. The album cover from the album Modern Man from 1978.
Oh, right.
And yes, and when I was young, my brother used to listen to jazz fusion. And one morning, he gave me the music cassettes. Remember the music cassettes from CBS and all that stuff from the labels in cassette, the format cassette.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I was completely blown away by the cover, by the vintage aesthetics. It really blew my mind when I was little. I was very young. I was 5 years old, I guess. I was very, very amazed by all the 70s aspect of the record. From the beginning, in fact, Pascal noticed my look, in fact, my producer. So maybe he told myself, you got a unique style, and I love the way you dress yourself. And maybe we do a wonderful album for the shot with your style and everything about the 70s you love. And in fact, it's very linked to my passion for vintage 70s and of course all these kind of covers from Minnie Riperton and Earth, Wind and Fire and all this stuff. Definitely.
Amazing. Well, here's the thing. So, I could tell you're younger than me. I'm from the '70s. I was
All right.
'73. So, growing up with that aesthetic, like it just comes natural. So yeah, the Stanley Clark, now it makes sense. Like I think that's what it was. Like my subconscious was making a connection and I couldn't picture where it was. But yeah, the
Oh,
blue, the afro, and just your stance, it like I said, when I saw it on the Bandcamp website, I'm like, okay, I got to do it. So then what happened is I forgot about the release until I saw Ed Mata's post
sure.
and him
Thank,
congratulating. And then that was like that was such a beautiful thing between you and him. Just you guys just showing love to each other. So I had to congratulate you, number one, for like working with great people, but the way that you refer to everyone like your big bros and family, it just
absolutely.
that's a lot of
Absolutely.
love. It felt so good to see that.
Yes, but you know, before even hearing the music, I was totally mesmerized by the cover. So, as you say, the big afro, the shiny brown jacket, the flare jeans,
Hmm.
and you know that there's a little kid hiding behind him.
Hmm.
He wears a floral knick-knack shirt with blowing soap bubbles, and really that image just stayed with me forever. So
Wow.
I just wanted to recreate that exact feeling. I've worked 6 years in a vintage store in Paris, and that's my world, in fact. So when I discovered that the photo has been taken by Norman Seeff,
Hmm.
which is an iconic photographer, he shot so many sleeves, legendary sleeves like Bobby Womack, the Jacksons, Al Jarreau. So really, it struck in my mind, and I just wanted to do something with it, and it's like a link to my childhood, actually.
That's good. So it's wow. It's like connecting everyone. So people of my generation like see it as connecting us to our childhood, and then just doing the same for you. So it's like full circle. That's a beautiful thing. Um,
Thank you.
so
So much to say, live for today. No matter what's inside, you wanna dance till your blues away. Oh, come what may, when skies are gray, you better shed some light. You let this romance is gonna stay. Where the beauty rests up back in town, forget her, she let you down. Truth is nowhere to be found, that's been all about. Some roads need to break away from some notes, bet you makes you pay. Stone cold lover anyway. Taste of effort, spread it close now. So much to say, live for today. No matter what's inside, you wanna dance till your blues away. Come what may, when skies are gray, you better shed some light. Your endless romance is gonna stay. Oh, where the beauty rests up back in town, forget how she let you down. Truth is nowhere to be found, that's been all about. But some roads need to break away from some notes that you makes you pay. Stone cold lover anyway. Taste of sexy babe. She's a stone cold lover anyway. Now taste of it, pretty close now. Taste of it, pretty just a taste of it. Taste of it, pretty close now.
Little Herbie Hancock, Paradise. I think that's 1982. And before that, we heard the title track, the opening track on Ethel Lindsey's album, Pretty Close. That tune, Pretty Close, is such a powerful way to open up the album. Thank you so much for being here. Special shout outs to some of the radio fam that is listening. My sister Priska is here, Dave G, Jennifer at Smiley, good to see you. Gypsy Love, DJ Hot Pot, Jen Spins Vinyl, Jenny B, of course, is here, and YouTube as well. Shanta, good to see you. Rachy Doodle, Wolfman Mark is tuning in from across the pond. Always good to see you, brother. Kaleo, Ms. Q of Syntax Radio, right here on Blast. Dave J on the mic, as well as Ethel. Ethel, such a pleasure to meet you. Appreciate you tuning in as well. I hope I'm going to be blushing as I throw more flowers Ethel's way, because I fell in love with the vocals and the way that they're layered throughout the song, as well as the unique way that it sounds. You know, we're getting fresh music of this type of genre. Is amazing that we don't have to go back and continue listening to the same old artist, that we have a new album to dive into. So let me get back into the interview. In, like you said, being in Paris, and I've always wondered if someone speaks multiple languages and then you make an album in English, how does that affect your songwriting? Like, are you thinking of, you know, how words mean different things to different people in different countries? So are you thinking about that as you write it? Are you thinking about one particular audience? Like, do you, in your mind, write in French and then sing in English? Or how does it work for you?
That's very strange, because sometimes you are thinking about something and maybe it doesn't have any sense for abroad, for the people from other countries. So it's kind of being very risky, because you have to check what you are talking about, and sometimes it's very difficult. But well, first of all, to be honest, I'm still kind of at the beginning when it comes to speaking English. I haven't had that many chances to really practice, so please be cool with me.
Oh, you're fine. Speak well.
I'm trying. I'm still on trial. So it's actually much easier for me to write than to speak, but I get better with time.
Okay.
Sorry. So the process itself, it's actually the same as when you write in French, but the melody and the rhythm are just as important as the words. So thinking about that, I can write lyrics. I can't write lyrics as rich or as deep in English as I do in French. But sometimes, inspiration just strikes. And frankly, I never wanted to throw in random words or replace real feelings with nonsense sounds. We call it French yaourt. Just to feel the melody. But when you are composing, sometimes you can So what I love is when a phrase suddenly appears, maybe a bit unusual, but it expresses something true and fresh. So like in my song, let's take Pretty Close. There's this line where when I say, "Well done, beauty restored back in town." This came to me one day when I was sitting in a cafe, and I just felt free from my past, new again, ready to start over, and it just fit the melody perfectly. So yes, I think I still have a lot to learn, but I'm getting closer, and both in language, also in the feeling. But I think it's going to be better with time, and I hope that I did something cool to listen to, and I just try to translate my feelings about love affairs, and relationships with people, and I try to give a very personal touch in everything that I've done.
There's been times in my life I've been wondering why, and yet somehow I believe we'll always survive. Now I'm not so sure that you're waiting to hear one good reason to try. Boy, what more can I say? What's left to provide? You think that maybe it's over, only if you want it to be. Are you gonna wait for a sign? Your miracle? Stand up and fight. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. This is it. Your back's to the counter.
Since this is a family program, you rarely hear Millie Jackson. That is Millie Jackson in her version of "This Is It." Like you said, we dig covers. Thank you so much for being here, and shout out to Ethel who joined the chat on Instagram, on YouTube Live. So if you want to show some love and throw some flowers her way, she is kind enough to grace our presence in on the YouTube Live chat. So I had to play that because that is just part of what we're listening to. Of course, Kenny Loggins' "This Is It" is quintessential album oriented rock and from that time period, but I had to go and dig up a nice cover of that. Before we get back into the music, I've got Average White Band coming up. Ned Doheny and Quincy Jones. We actually talk about Quincy Jones in our conversation, and Valerie Carter. Actually, I think I have two songs by Valerie Carter. So if you're not familiar with her, a magnificent 70s rock artist. So let's get back into our conversation.
And
Yeah,
I'm doing
I
right now.
felt it. Felt pretty close. Like the opening track, it felt really personal. I mean, is that, without getting in your business, is that one like a personal story for you? Like the lyrics in Pretty Close?
Yes, it's like in fact, it's like the whole album is like a road movie. It's
Wow.
coming out from a difficult relationship, a long distance relationship, to talk about my experience, and it's about being confident, true to yourself, and just believe that even in tough times that you're living or difficult relationship, you can win at the end. You can get your thing together and walk with the your true story, but also self confidence restored. And it's all about the album actually.
Yeah.
You got a lot of topics like relationships with your in-laws, just like in the song Your Winner. It's about the in-laws trying
Okay.
to put me in a wrong situation with my mate. So there's a lot of stuff, and the only song I guess which is very uplifting, it's All Done. It's the only place in the album where it's really about uplifting people and just give them hope. And it's like I'm talking to myself, but it's coming. It's getting very universal at the end.
Oh, Hold On is, it's so easygoing. Like I'm listening to it and it felt like, and I'm going to ask you about your artist who inspired you, but the person who came to mind was Bill Withers.
Sure,
You
I
know what I
love
mean?
him
Just
very much.
easy-going
I listen
songwriting.
to
It was
Bill
so easy
Withers,
to listen to.
Bill Withers,
And
yeah.
actual Michael Jackson too. So I can tell you, um, Off the Wall, like this album reminds me so much of Off the Wall because I know I've
Sure,
been telling friends I don't want to use the term yacht rock. I'm sure you in America people use that,
absolutely.
but it's that album oriented rock, and most people don't understand that Off the Wall isn't really pop music. It's more rock. It's like kind of a soft rock album, and
Mhm.
so yeah, so that's why I wanted to ask you really like who are some of the artists that inspired the sound on.
Oh my God, there's so many artists. The list would be really endless. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, I think the obvious ones would be Stevie, of course, Quincy, Michael, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was little, I think my first couple of albums, I think it was Off the Wall and Songs in the Key of Life, of course.
Mm-hmm.
George Duke, I would quote Prince, of course, any period, but I think the For You period and the beginnings of Prince is quite influential in this album, of
Okay.
course. Earth, Wind and Fire,
Mm-hmm.
um, obviously. Maybe some albums by Rufus, without or with Jagagan.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chic group aussi. Sorry, sometimes I melt with the French words.
Nile Rodgers.
Chic,
Yeah, I definitely hear
yeah,
Nile
Nile
Rodgers in
Rodgers,
there.
sure.
Yeah.
You get a lot of artists. I mean, there's also a more sophisticated side. I guess, let's say Maxwell, Sade, Lewis Taylor, Al Jarreau, Rod Temperton, maybe Anita Baker and Ollie Notes too.
Mm-hmm.
And you named all the yacht rock stuff. I mean, I just wanted to tell my yacht rock people who are listening that I'm not against the word, but I guess for some of us it's a bit weird. And
Yeah.
now you get the yacht rock affair coming up, and it's very weird. But anyway, it's funny, and I understand that all these people who appears to be my new friends too. Some of my new friends are into that, so I just want to tell them that I'm not against the the reunion of all of us all together to listen to that music and to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate the music. But it's true, I'm not really fond of the term. But
So that's okay. That's the part where I wanted to come in. So I'm glad that there's an understanding that yacht rock is kind of silly. Like it doesn't really mean anything to describe the music. Although today in the car, as I was listening to some music, the term yacht rock, using it feels like to me using an acceptable slur among friends, if that makes sense. And I hope I'm not offending anybody. I hope you know what I mean by, hey, we call each other this, we say this in company, but we don't use it outside of our friend circle. This is how we talk to each other amongst friends, but we don't take it outside. Um, Yacht rock, and I don't want to, you know, minimize the danger of using slurs, but I think you know what I mean, that there's colloquial talk, I guess. There's vernacular that people use, but when you're talking about an artist who puts so much heart and soul into the work, and as you hear Ethel, we talk about, relationships, and they write it down and they make music, and then you have someone from the outside slap a name or a moniker on it, that's not necessarily fair. The other reason why it's not fair is because, and I think we talk about this in our interview as well, is that this time period of music, this album oriented rock, 70s, 80s, is really done by the 90s, but pretty much 70s and 80s, during this time period, it's the most inclusive when it comes to different artists of different colors, cultures, and backgrounds, all making the same music. They're influenced by jazz, soul, R&B, and rock and roll. You see these artists writing, producing, singing backup, playing instruments, all on each other's albums, and all of this music is played on different radio formats, whether it was easy listening, R&B, soul channels, classic rock channels, easy listening channels. It was just a hodgepodge because it was like, well, what do you like? It wasn't really about, you had your favorite band, you had your favorite artist, but this type of music was listened to by everyone, young, old. It didn't really matter. It really wasn't as segmented. So to take something that has so many different ingredients, it's almost like calling it's like walking up to a lobster boil or and a fancy dish with all these complicated ingredients and saying, well, give me a bowl of that soup. You know what I mean? Like it's an insult to the chef because so much went into the pot. But it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm glad that we got a chance to do that. So let me play you. I was going to go to Average White Band, but since we were talking about Hold On, I fell in love with it and just kind of was zoning out. So I want you to have that same experience. Here's Ethel Lindsey and her song, Hold On. love that song so much. Um, I often compare food and music together because there's so many similarities if you want to use an analogy. And this album really feels like Ethel is in the kitchen and giving you ingredients of all the different artists that we talked about. Here's a little Hall and Oates. Here's some Quincy and Michael working together. You know, here's some Earth, Wind, and Fire, but this is a little Sade. We mentioned Bill Withers, and shout out to Tadet, who's joined the show, as well as Kendall B, and all of you who joined us on YouTube on the live stream. Thank you so much. This is warming my heart. But Tadet had sent me an Instagram reel, and Bill Withers was talking about leaving the industry. He went from having control and making his music, and they got to a certain point with his success that the records label wanted to dictate what would be a hit. So they would tell him, you put horns here and you put the keys there, and they're giving him the ingredients of what it would take to make a hit, as opposed to him simply doing what he as a musical genius was doing already. So I mentioned to Tay that like I already had a song in mind that I think kind of comes from this period. It's a really good song. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to let you hear this Bill Withers song. It's from his album About Love. And when I heard it, I immediately thought of the clip because I had just saw the clip. And I said, this sounds like it's a good song. Like I don't want to I don't want to put any check marks against Bill Withers. All of his music is great, but you can hear a distinct change from, I don't think he cooked this one from scratch. Like this one sounds like Bill Withers in a cake box. Like this sounds like him reaching in the cabinet and pulling out some Duncan Hines and making a cake mix. So it's great, but it doesn't sound completely authentic. See what you feel. This is called Dedicated to You, My Love.
Dated till each of us runs out of time. I'm dedicated to you, my love. If I could think of a peach of a rhyme, I'm dedicated to you, my love. And if the way I speak my love seems silly to me, it's only because you got me feeling
this. Bill Withers, dedicated to you, my love. And yeah, it's hard to say, well, this isn't great, Bill Withers. I would say, like, this, and Ethel mentions it in the chat on YouTube, that it's an underrated album. It's kind of like looking at music outside of Stevie's classical period. There is no bad Stevie Wonder music, but then he has this classical period. Same thing with Michael Jackson. He's got the three great albums, and then the other albums outside of that are still magnificent. It's just kind of like everything's on a bell curve, and it depends on what you like. Like, my favorite album is Justments. It's also kind of on the outside. Like, it doesn't have all the hits. It just has a particular sound. And I think that's the same thing about this album, About Love. It's a really good sounding album, but I think it's underrated because it sits outside of, I don't want to call it the grimy, but it doesn't have as much heartache and oomph as the other ones, but it's still a great album. But it kind of reminds me when he talked about losing control, the creative control, and doing what record executives were telling him. It's like, oh, maybe this is the point where it kind of made a shift. And when he kind of get back into our interview, and I think, let me see if I'm left off at the same.
Don, Bobby Caldwell, Eric Tagg, Jake Graydon, and all these guys, even from jazz fusion artists, are singer-songwriters who weren't exactly soul. But it's all about harmony and storytelling, and maybe you get all these people working in the same place. I think James Ingram once told that it was a constellation about just around Quincy Jones and all the cats from LA. And in fact, the more you grow, the more you learn that, in fact, that music has no boundaries. It's worldwide now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm there to prove it.
Yeah, I think in this genre, I've always said like funk music is probably one of the most inclusive, but I also think this album oriented rock, when this period of the 70s and 80s, it's so multicultural. Like, all the artists you
Sure,
name, it's people from all over, percussionists from Brazil, artists on the west coast of the US. You've got even like Luther and Change in Italy.
sure.
So
Italian people,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's people from all over the world. And I think
Sure,
once you get into the 80s and 90s and you kind of leave this period, then things kind of get more fragmented. But I think this was probably the most inclusive time, and as well as radio. Like, I can tell you, as a person who lived during that time, that you could hear this music, white and black artists, Spanish,
sure.
French, it doesn't really matter, that they were played across different platforms and different radio stations. So, yeah, you picked a great time to to focus on an album like that.
You were lucky to live that era as well. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
It's funny, like, you probably have been told this before, like, um, when they say, "Oh, you were born in the wrong period," I think you were born at the right time. It's perfect that someone like you got this from your older brother, and then being
Sure.
younger,
Yeah.
you get to carry the torch. You know what I mean? Like, if you were all born in that same age, then it would eventually die. But having someone younger revive it, so I did hear Quincy's influence on the album, and I thought it's so cool that, okay, he's gone, he's no longer with us, but now we have someone who's making it fresh, and it sounds a little like Quincy, but it also sounds unique, like you, like completely.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you get also that guy, so just to mention a guy that I really love,
Hmm.
and he's not longer with us, but he was from Detroit. He was a Detroit-born songwriter, and he made all his career. He made his career in Nashville, and his name is Robert Byrne. And Robert Byrne is a very well-known songwriter, and I
Hmm.
think he got a lot of credits on BMI, and he wrote a lot of country songs, and this guy made funky music as hell.
Hmm.
And just check him out.
I have to
All
check that
those,
out.
yes,
Yeah,
Robert Byrne.
I love and I love highlighting songwriters because it helps you have a complete picture when it's a combination.
Sure.
Um, and it sounds like you're talented. So when I kind of looked into some of your credits, so you've written, produced, you've played the instruments. So, like you mentioned, having the influence of Prince. So you did something as similar as Prince, where your fingerprints are all over every aspect of this album. Then.
Well, in fact, I use a group. I got a group in studio because I felt not so confident about doing that for the first album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a virtuoso, you know. I use tools and I use instruments. I think I play two instruments, piano, synthesizer, bass guitar. I play bass guitar too, but not enough to show off. But I think it's more about when I'm doing my demos. I did some demos. I did my demos for all my life, so I'm used to play some instruments for me and to present songs. And I hope to play more and more on sequels. I think
Mm-hmm.
I try to play more instruments, but yes, I'm doing all the stuff. I'm arranging, directing the musicians, writing stuff, but I'm not really a writer. I don't read music, so it's more about being an autodidact. And I did that all my life, so it's very simple for me to have music in my head, and I think it's the looks of all my music, my way of seeing music. It's in fact to be lucky enough to make listen your music. You put your music into a box and you can have somebody listen to it and say, okay, that's the good song, and we're gonna record it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, sorry, it's a bit confused, but I think the main stuff for me, the main luck for me, is to have my song recorded by myself and to be able to show the music and the songs to the people first. I'm really lucky to have that, to be able to express myself like this, and to being able to communicate with people and musicians. And after we are recording all that, maybe I begin alone. Then after we are entering the studio and we are working on it.
Is that? But now, is it your background vocals? Is that you layered? Like you singing your own background vocals?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
used to that. It's my stuff.
Okay. It's great. I mean, it sounds amazing being able to hear yourself. But you know what? I think.
There's another track from the album, Ethel Lindsey, Together Again.
Funny how time flies. So many blessings in my life. Having you near by my side made me cross the skies and find the beauty in your mind. Got this spellbound, full of pride.
So tonight's show is a little different. This is more like a listening party, a conversation between me and Ethel, and we're listening to the album. So that was Together Again from the album Pretty Close. And immediately when I heard this song, I thought of another legend that, you know, fits the mold, and it reminded me of this song. So you got to hear a little bit of Dion.
This is insane. All you did was say hello, speak my name, feeling your love like a love I used to know long ago. How can it be? You're a different space and time. Come to me. Feel like I'm home in a place I used to know long ago. Deja vu. Could you be the dream that I once knew? Is it you? Deja vu. Could you be the dream that might come true? Shining through. I keep remembering me. I keep remembering you. Deja vu. This is divine.
That is amazing. For those of you, you know, who've been listening to the show for a while, you know my love affair with Dionne Warwick. I'm pretty close to completing my vinyl collection of all of her records, whether it's the straight albums and the greatest hits, the compilations. There was another one, I'm looking at it now, called Dionne Warwick Golden Hits Part 1 and Part 2. And they give you the same compilation of greatest hits, but it's a black and gold presentation on the album. And it's kind of cheesy, to be honest, but I had to have it, and I found it a couple weeks ago. So we're getting close. We're almost there. I'm going to get back into the interview, and I misplaced the timestamp. So let me see. I may have to scrub through and find the place where we were at. I apologize. Hold on. Oh, let me.
Synthesizer, bass guitar. I play bass guitar too, but not enough to show off. But I think it's more about when I'm doing my demos. I did some demos. I did my demos for all my life, so I'm used to play some instruments for me and to present songs. And I hope to play more and more on sequels. I think I try to play more instruments, but yes, I'm doing all the stuff. I'm arranging, directing the musicians, writing stuff, but I'm not really a writer, and I don't read music, so it's more about being an autodidact. And I did that all my life, so it's very simple for me to have music in my head, and I think it's the looks of all my music, my way of seeing music. It's in fact to be lucky enough to make listen your music. You put your music into a box, and you can have somebody listen to it and say, okay, that's the good song, and we're gonna record it. So I think, sorry, it's a bit confused, but I think the main stuff for me, the main luck for me, is to have my song recorded by myself and to be able to show the music and the songs to the people
Mm.
first. I'm really lucky to have that, to be able to express myself like this and to being able to communicate with people and musicians. And after we are recording all that, maybe I begin alone. Then after we are entering the studio and we are working on it.
Is that? But now, is it your background vocals? Is that you layered? Like you singing your own background vocals?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
used to that. It's my stuff.
Okay. It's great. I mean, it sounds amazing, to hear yourself. But you know what? I think if you have a vision, um, going back to Quincy, like that's kind of what he does. That's what Rick Rubin does. Like you have a vision, you know what you want the finished product to sound like. So if you can direct and delegate and tell someone, James Brown, same thing. Not a player of a ton of
Um,
instruments, but the sound is unmistakably theirs. They still kind of get credit for the overall sound. So you're you're in good company. That's good. Um, we kind of talked about this about what you love about the '70s. Um, do you feel like it's? I guess the biggest thing that made me excited about this is that not many groups are making that sound. I think you posted one of the magazine reviews, and someone mentioned, is it Young Gun, Silver Fox? Um,
sure.
there's a couple others, Ed Mata, of course, and his albums. There's a few artists who are making it. Were you hesitant about doing something that's not like mainstream? It's popular, but it's not really mainstream. Did that give you any fear of releasing something like this?
First of all, I'm quite I'm also a mainstream artist. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that album was a true a true possibility to express what I've learned from the past, and I think I'm really obsessed by being true to myself and show me the truth that I can show myself. But it's more about opportunities. I had the opportunity to work with a label which is quite oriented towards Brazilian music or disco music or funk music,
Mm-hmm.
more about the 70s and the 80s, obviously. And I had the luck to release some albums like this. But of course, I'm coming also from the mainstream. So I see myself, I'm not seeing my music um, only, how can I say this?
You
It's
will.
not a, yes, I think I'm capable of doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I show this in my, I had some time to reflect about it, and I'm very curious about other styles of music, and I'm trying to do all I can do to keep a fit in mainstream music, but also enjoying myself in some kinds of eras or
Mm-hmm.
maybe some styles that I really love and which is 100% me too. But I think yes, people like Lewis Taylor or maybe Sade managed to they managed to keep a fit in the past and doing some modern soul. So I guess maybe in few years, maybe I will have the luck to confront myself to mainstream, but I think it will always be soulful no matter what.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah, you're right. Like Sade is a good example. Out of those 6 albums, they they have they have a similar sound from the beginning to the last
Mm,
one, but definitely like Love Deluxe is more R&B. It's kind of, you have some electronics, whereas Diamond Life is like you feel like you're in a jazz cafe, but they all sound like Sade. But
I mean,
so yeah,
yes,
so it's nice that you won't be just a niche, but yeah, you can definitely hear that whether you do like your covers, the Georgie Porgy and having that reggae beat. Number one, thank you for doing that. Like you slowed it down. And when I
sure.
listened to Georgie Porgy and hearing you sing it, it was like I knew what the song was about, but I think it hit me more just because it was at a slower pace. So I was singing. I was like,
Okay,
it,
you took attention to the lyrics.
it almost made me cry.
Um,
but
sorry.
but no, it's good because it's like it makes you really feel the lyrics, and when it's upbeat, the total version, you want to dance and party to it, right?
And I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Love is no place for the faint of heart. We need all the strength we can find. Sometimes when feelings tear you apart, you wonder if you're out of your mind. Still we going way over our heads. Who would think we could suffer the fall? What seems like a jungle of emotion won't give you any cover at all. Take heart when it's getting you down. Love wasn't made in a day. No, love takes away. The more that you have, the more you must pay. In something you say and you mean it well can easily be turned around. Chasing feelings like shapes on the wall. You wonder if you're lost or you're found. When I look back on the things we've been through, I would do it again just the same. One thing is sure, when love rules the board, you'll never get enough of the game. Take heart when you're losing your way. Love wasn't made in a day. Oh, what love gives, love takes away. Yes, it does. All that you have, the more you must pay. Oh, it's to give up and to take in the
Little Average White Band. And it's funny. So our conversation on YouTube, it brought back a memory that I had. I'm glad Ethel's here and I can kind of bring it out. Hopefully I can explain this in the right way. So I commented, yeah, Average White Band, they're like the funky Irishmen. You hear the music and you wouldn't realize that, it's a group from Ireland. You can also think of Simply Red and Mick Hucknall, who has a very soulful voice. And there's this running joke that I've had. I've talked about it on the show and other people's shows that people of non-African descent, that have coarse or curly hair. Like if you are not, you or your family or your ancestry are not from the continent of Africa, but you still have coarse and curly hair, it can make an afro, or your hair can kind of stand on your head. Typically, they can make funky and soulful music. Um, Ethel proves that point. So she's in a long line of people. So there's Mick Hucknall. There's oh my goodness, now his Leo. What's his name? I forget his last name. You know who I'm talking about. He's jumping in the air on the album. I forget. But yeah, it's so funny. Like in my head, you see it, especially from the '70s, because it was popular for everyone who could have an afro to put their hair in an afro, regardless of what their ancestry is. But through music, if you have coarse and curly hair, you'll find your way, some kind of way, into some kind of soulful, funky type of music. It's Leo Sayer. Thank you, Ethel. Yeah, Leo Sayer. Yeah, they can kind of, they have that falsetto. They can kind of hit the high notes. I don't know what it is. Same thing with Mick and Simply Red. There's got to be a connection between the hair follicles and the vocal cords. I don't know. It's just a non-scientific observation for me. There's another artist that I like to play when we're playing this type of music who isn't always credited, and that's Ned Dahani. And I think that's how you pronounce it. He hasn't really been on the scene in the public eye since making his records. He's responsible for writing some. So let's throw some Ned in here. And this is Each Time You Pray. to show a little love to Ned. He doesn't get enough love and appreciate. I'm glad that Ethel, noticed that. Yeah, great songwriter, covering songs and working with Average White Band, and obviously it's not. He doesn't sound like Shaka. Shaka does something completely different, but I think as much as we talk on Mondays about jazz standards, that's something that I thought about as I was putting this playlist together. I really wish in other genres that we could give the same respect to cover songs. I think in jazz, if you sing a Cole Porter song or you sing something from the American Songbook, it's just, hey, this is their version of a jazz standard and no one blinks twice. But then when it comes to popular music, rock music, and soul R&B, you do a cover and then it kind of gets ranked as far as how well you did or who's the best, when really is like it's just your version. So I understand, every artist is going to do their version of a cover song, but I really wish that we could kind of give it the same respect that jazz does, where it's a standard. It's like certain songs become a standard within that genre. So, Shaka Khan and Rufus have some amazing hits. Those are soul and R&B standards. Luther Vandross has some standards. Yeah, like if you think A House Is Not at Home, you think his version, you hear Dionne Warwick. At this point, so many people, if you listen to this genre of music, everyone knows the song. So let's call it a standard, and the next person who does it, you just continue, let it live on and not have one artist kind of own it, but let it be open source where everyone has a right to do their version of it and let it live on. That's why you can have a jazz standard that's 70, 80, 100 years old. I'll never get tired of hearing Misty. I'll never get tired of hearing Autumn in New York. It was just a couple weeks ago, a jazz singer from Vietnam, Dadi Do, and I posted that on Instagram. Her version of Autumn in New York blew me away. I've heard that song 100 times, but hearing her sing it in her own interpretation made it fresh for me again. So yeah, let's bring the jazz standard to all the different genres. We got a few more minutes left in our interview and a couple more songs I want to play of Ethel's. Let's get back to our conversation.
I was already in the studio just recording my voices, my first demos, with an engineer who was also a part of the SASM. SASMs, it's the BMI.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an arranger too, and I think he was my agent for 2-3 years, and we worked a lot together when I was 12 years old. And you have to understand that I was exactly like in the 70s in the recording booth with the yellow light on my face.
Mm-hmm.
The glass was so out. It was so out in here. And I was just doing my harmonies, and he was recording me already on vintage stuff, a vintage console. So, I mean, when I was younger, I think I was already in that mode, and I was already influenced by everything about the 70s to the 80s. And I guess I kept this stuff in my head and in my heart. And I'm just so happy to release an album like this today, and having the possibility that this album could appeal to people today, and especially American peoples and English people, Brazilian. I mean, I received tons of messages in my box from Brazil and Japan, and I'm still blown away. Frankly, I'm pitching myself every day because it's a dream come true, and I just want to say, I'm gonna stay simple. I'm gonna stay musical, and it's all about music. As one of my friends told me in the past, the real star is the music, and it's the center of my job. My job is to keep the music at the very center.
That's beautiful. That's good. So we're gonna hold you to it. Don't turn Hollywood. Just stay nice, stay loving.
I'm staying nice.
That's good. That's good. And
describe a moment that will last forever. 'Cause I saw that look of love inside your eyes, and my heart just started pumping like the 4th of July. I know I won't ever be the same again. There's an angel sitting on my shoulder. It's a magic feeling once you found a friend. I know one thing for certain, babe, this love won't ever end. Got me dreaming, dreaming. Each time I hear you say you care, I'm flying, flying high as a kite. 'Cause you brought something special to my life. Don't need no money, don't need no fame, 'cause love's falling all around like summer rain. I climb a mountain, cross any sea, as long as I know your sugar's waiting for me. Want your love, want your I'm just a natural kind of guy. Don't wanna see you hurt or make you cry. Tell me the truth, I am your friend. Is this a possibility or should this end?
I ask myself day after day, why do you do the things you do to make me stay? Am I your choice or just for play? When you get tired of other girls, you come my way.
Do you really love me, or am I giving up my love for nothing? Do you really love me, or am I giving up my love for nothing? My love for nothing. My love for nothing. Don't build me up to bring me down. Just tell me if you really want me around.
Don't leave me hanging so unsure, knowing that you're the one that make me feel secure. Well,
Love me, or am I giving up my love for nothing? Do you really love me, or am I giving up my love for nothing? Do you really love me? 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 Do you really love me, or am I giving
Carter, her version of Ooh Child. For wrapping up, I got a few more minutes of the last bit of our conversation as Ethel and I say goodbye on our call from last night. And thank you so much for being here. I got one more track I want to play you from her album. And I think one more track that I wanted to play for you that's a choice of mine that's been going with our music. So let's go back to our conversation and we'll head out with a couple more songs.
Good. That's good. And I think we're at a time when we really need that. You're right. You're very fortunate because there's so many artists who make great music. Like it's not a question of talent anymore. Sometimes you can have all the talent in the world and never have a chance for the world to hear your music. So, to have it streaming, to have it on vinyl, like that's also, a really beautiful gesture to be able to have it. So I can't wait, till mine comes in and I can present that to everyone. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with some other selections that I think complements your music.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the last thing, it's not, I know it's a silly question, but I always wonder as an artist, especially singers, like if you could be a musical instrument, kind of like the movie, the Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast, if we were turned into a musical instrument, what musical instrument would that be?
I think that would not be a surprise for you. I think definitely a Fender Rhodes electric piano. Yeah,
That's one of my
it's good.
favorites. Like I'm a huge fan of Bob James, and I love the sound of the electric
Sure,
piano.
Bob James is the king.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of easy to travel with.
Mm-hmm.
First, well, not really. it's a bit heavy sometimes because
Right.
it's basically a suitcase. So yes, it's quick to assemble, but it's rather heavy sometimes. But the sound, the tone, the touch, I still absolutely, I think it ravishes me every time I hear it. So I think it's so emblematic from the 70s, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's warm, soulful, elegant, and still, it's very modern today.
And it's
You
childlike
can
too. You know what I mean? Like
childlike too,
it
yes.
reminds me of like children's music, like you would hear on a little children's toy, like a wind-up toy. It's very soothing, but you're right. It's also kind of sophisticated. You're right. It hasn't aged at all. Like if you hear it now on new music, it doesn't sound dated, but it also does remind you of the 70s and the 80s.
Now that I'm thinking about the 70s, you asked me in the previous question.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can answer quickly by something that Chris Jasper, from
Mm-hmm.
the Isley Brother,
Yeah.
he may rest his soul. He explained how fierce the competition was in the 70s. It was historical. So I think maybe I love the 70s for that. I think the competition was very fierce for, so I think maybe it's better to feel challenges, and I think that's why it's so good, because you have to release an album the same month as Marvin Gaye or Parliament or even David Bowie or Stevie Wonder. So I think that environment really pushed them, really pushed everyone to do their best. So maybe now it's time to push ourselves and to coming back to the essence of the music and stop just looking about the marketing and the clips from MTV or whatever.
Yeah.
I think definitely we are coming back because of all that music done and all that, we are in awe of all that music. So I think it's because I love 70s. You have so much creativity, so much generosity and freedom in the music. So I think it's so unreal that I think it's coming back now.
Walking hand in hand, embracing every chance. These are the things that lovers often A secret rendezvous and dinner just for two. These are romantic things that lovers do. Affection they express with warmth and tenderness, offering love like lovers always do. Love makes the world go round. Yeah, there's the world revolve. Love has found love. Makes the world go round. Yeah, there's the world revolve. Love has found everywhere. Together every night with wine and candlelight. These are the things that lovers often do in a tantalizing way. A toast to love is made, and then they're ready to love like lovers always do. Lovers.
Little LTD, Jeffrey Osborne. That is from the Shine On album. I bought that album yesterday, and I was listening to it and like, you know what? We'll play this Sunday night. So we reached the end of the show, and as I was setting up the interview with Ethel, I mentioned that I wanted this to be more of a conversation, like on the phone, and the two of us are talking, and we share this with the audience instead of the polished podcast type of thing. This is just conversations. So it's only a couple minutes left. We wind up our conversation pretty much by saying goodbye and our thank yous for the conversations. I want to share that with you. And then I'm going to share the last song that I think kind of pairs up very well with the LTD song off the album. Which one is it? It's out of the album that we played. Not Hold On. Did we listen to Hold On? I think it's Hold On. Yeah, I'm gonna double check. I think it's Hold On. Let me go back to the end of our conversation here.
It's something to look for. And you know what? It's also, the competition was fierce, but there was also collaborations. When you look at the liner notes and you see background singers, across
Right,
working with each other, and you keep seeing the
right,
same
yeah.
names over and over again, like Jeff Porcaro, from Toto, and um, who else? Sissy Houston. We mentioned Luther. Um, these different artists backing each other up, even though they're competing on the charts. So yeah, it was a beautiful time.
I'm so sad that I didn't have the time to send the track Hold On to M2Me, because I
Um,
spoke with M2Me on several times, and even with Tawataji,
hmm
and it was my wish to have a kind of background vocalist on that, like a choir.
hmm
How can I say choir? I don't know how to spell it. So yes. Anyway, the track "Hold On" is very much like a chic change stuff
hmm
from that era. With, you named it, Cissy Houston, Tawataji, all the chic and change vocalists like Tawata, Sandy Thornton, and the guys from New York. So
hmm
yes, definitely, I was looking for them when I did that track. of
Uh,
course.
yeah, you know what? Tawatha is one that I want to interview. And it's funny you mention her name because I just actually have the email and getting ready to compose and send it over to because she's almost like that like a Forrest Gump character. She's on so many different tracks and she continues to still work with so many different artists and people don't unless they read and look at the credits, you don't realize that she's on the background of so many different songs. The ones that you
Yes.
know and the ones that you don't even know. It's amazing. Yeah. Someone like her and there's one other background singer.
And
Um
I think this is because, sorry, I didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt you. I think this, I talked with her, maybe she was cheering me up because I did a cover from Would You Like to Fool Around? So I did that stuff and I think
Hmm.
James and Shumei really dig that. So that's the reason why I think I talked with them just a little bit
That's
in
awesome.
the past. Yes.
It is, especially when you get to meet the people that you look up to. I had a chance to talk with and interview Melba Moore. So, and that's kind of the reason when I do this show is like when I present music to people, I also want to present music that I'm really passionate about. So this is why I invited you on. But Melba Moore, Candy State, and like I usually want to talk to artists that I'm really passionate about. So yeah. It's almost like you said, you have to pinch yourself when you get to talk to somebody that you've heard on the radio all your life, and they're regular people just like you, but it feels really good. So I'm glad that you got a chance to talk with her. So I will definitely tag you in the post if we get a chance to talk with her because I know she has so
I,
many stories to tell.
I truly appreciate. Um, yes, I just want to thank you so much for having me in your show. And I truly hope people will listen to the album with their hearts because it's an album made with love, hard work, passions, and yes, a little bit of that 70s soul for
Yeah.
sure. But I'm truly grateful for this. Yes.
Yeah, you're very welcome. But you know what? We'll stay in touch and
Stay in touch, man.
I'll keep watching your progress because yeah, you're going to be great. I love your music. Okay.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best for the show. Thank you for having me. And of course, a lot of love from Paris. And hello to everybody. Be well, courage, and be strong.
Thank you. Take care. Bye
Peace.
bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're gonna end. I got one more song. It's actually "Make You Mine" is the one that I've been vibing out to. Like I was in the car and I hit this one. So "Make You Mine" is the one I want to end with. But we ended there talking about Tawatha Ag, and she's been one that I would love to have on the show just because she's worked with so many artists and she continues to work. You'll hear sometimes you'll hear her. I'll listen to a song and kind of just if I'm wearing headphones, like that sounds like Tawatha, and then you go and check the credits and boom, there she is. Um, the last time that happened to me, I think it was Chromeo. She was with Chromeo. I think she's on the is it I don't want to say this wrong. Is it the White Ladies or White Women album? White Women. White Women 2014. There's like 2 or 3 songs that she's featured on. So I love the fact that she's part of a legacy from the 70s, but also still working with newer, younger artists like Chromeo. So she's on the list. But tonight has all been all about Ethel Lindsey becoming part of the musical family. And that's kind of always what I call us as listeners and me as the broadcaster, is that we're kind of like musical relatives. We all have similar tastes, and I get suggestions from you. You send me clips. You know what I like, and we put these shows together, and you tune in every week. So it's been a real blast. No pun intended on Blast Radio. So here's what we're going to do next week. Next Sunday, it's all about world music. Most of the music will be English. Some of it will be in other languages, but it's going to have that same funk, soul, jazz type of feel, but we're going to travel the world, listen to some other artists, get some international flavors in. So that's what's on the deck for next week. Tomorrow is Monday. You know what that means. All jazz, no breaks. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, we play jazz music. The last few weeks have been kind of playing you some of my favorite artists, doing new music, music from the last couple of years, like 2024, 2025, some of the top albums. I'm going to kind of continue with that tomorrow. but I do have some cool underground stuff that I want to play. What else is on the deck? I think that's it. There's another interview with a lovely jazz vocal group. We're kind of doing our pre-interview on Tuesday night, and then once we work out exactly what we'll do, like what our plan for the interview is and what kind of music I'll be playing, I'll post that on Instagram. So we're going to continue to have guests that complement the music that we listen to. But I appreciate everybody not only showing up, but chatting with Ethel on YouTube. And Ethel, again, appreciate you for joining us and becoming part of the family. So we'll follow each other on Instagram. That's kind of what we do. See what's going on. If you dig the music, Bandcamp. That's how I found Ethel. I keep preaching. Excuse me. Bandcamp is such an awesome resource to purchase music, to explore and find music. Music can be expensive, so if you can't always purchase hard copy like a CD or the vinyl, you can buy the digital copy sometimes as low as $7 or $10. And if you can't purchase the music, then please share it. That's the other way you can support an artist, is sharing the music, giving it to somebody that maybe they can purchase it. Maybe they send it to somebody who it's the little steps. I think someone explained to me, it's like filling an Olympic-sized pool, filling a swimming pool with little raindrops. Like every little drop counts, and eventually the pool is full. So that's kind of what we want to do with the music. If you dig an artist, follow them, share, retweet, post, like, subscribe, do all those little things that are free. And then if you have a few extra coin, send it their way by making a purchase of some merchandise, some of the music, and that's your way of supporting the ecosystem, the record stores, the distributors, the producers, the engineers. I think we all have streaming services. We all have Apple and Spotify. I'm not going to demonize those things. I mean, even though Spotify is getting pretty evil, if you use it in the right way and still want to support the artists that you listen to, then I think it's still a win, knowing if you're at least aware of what's happening to the artist on the back end, that they're not getting paid by being on those streaming services. So if you use them to find an artist, but then go and support them, then I guess, it is what it is, right? We're going to end, like I said, one more track from this lovely album called Pretty Close. It's called Make You Mine. As always, I want to tell you, appreciate the time that you have. Do your best to do better and be better. But if not, if you fall short, it's okay. If you're given the gift to try again the next day, that's all you can do, right? Enjoy the rest of what's left of this weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. All jazz, no breaks. And as always, 1, 4, 3.
My friends once told me some things I better left unsaid. Those feelings have grown right in with me. You're still in my head. Girl, I've been watching you over the years. And no matter what you've done, magic never disappears. You are my only one. When there's a will, there's a way. I must erase my doubts to find what you're about. I've wasted so much time. Oh, wait now. I got to make you mine. It's a crime to hold this love away from you deep down. Locked inside. Don't you feel that I just have to make I'm thirsty to learn. Rather than only a mystery, you are my only son. When there's a will, there's a way. I must erase my doubts and find what you're about. I've wasted so much time. I get to make you mine. It's a crime to hold this love away from you. Deep down, locked inside. Don't you think that I just have to make it right? Never mind this waiting. I'll run your life in my arms. Oh, baby, now I get to make you mine. I get to redefine my game and give you a sign. Allow me to cross that line to make you mine. I wanna make you mine. Still be what it takes to make you mine. I got to make you mine. It's a crime to all this love away from you. Deep down, locked inside. Don't you think that I just have to make it right? Never mind this waiting. I'll run your life in my arms. Oh, baby, now I got to make you mine. I got to redefine my game and give you a sign. Allow me to cross that line to make you mine. I got to make you mine. I got to redefine my game and give you a sign. Allow me to cross that line to make you
Hello. Aren't you glad you let your fingers do the walking? Cause you got kids dynamite doing the talking.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, huh?
Ain't winning tonight. So now we're leaving. I'm leaving without the Oscar,
Yeah.
right? But as I'm leaving, I see the back of where they're doing the getting the meal ready, the food ready
Yeah.
for the governor's ball.
Yeah, yeah.
I see a big tray. I'm like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way.